I've been observing drops and testing different locations, and the Maudun Mine seems like the best place to go for really good currency farming before you get into hyper in-game map juicing. And in my testing, just kind of running through, there isn't any specific strategy. It's not like, oh, you want to go here, oh, you want to corpse consume this, and then take out the rares and stuff. You just want to full clear it all the way to the boss, and it doesn't matter if you get lost, and then you just find currency inside of it. Alright, we already got an Orb of Augmentation in, like, the second pack, and then just going off of the rarity, I've gotten a lot of cool things like Chaos Shard. Oh, an Orb of Transmutation. Hey, thank you, game, for giving me good RNG and helping me prove the system. So, some people might be like, wait, isn't this just the video you made a while ago? And yes and no, it's kind of the same strategy, but this is going to be for cruel mode and then going into maps and stuff, and it effectively works about the same. But I'm also going to test different methods. I'm also going to show some other things, so don't click off the video just because you see this. You need to know the technique and the other things going into it. If you enjoy, don't forget to leave a like, share with your friends, comment your thoughts down below, and also let's check out what people are saying, because the struggle is real, and people trying to find out how to farm currency are just being disrespected by the community. Since the farming of the beetle in Act 2 was nerfed, I was wondering if anyone has any new method for farming exalted orbs and other stuff. You play the maps, it's what's intended, exalted orbs drop plentiful even in early maps, and these guys are saying, wait, what do you mean it's plentiful, define plentiful? So, yeah, for this stage of the game that I'm trying to represent, or just people trying to get to the super crazy maps, there's not really too many ways of getting exalted orbs, and then again, just disrespect. Now, I kind of understand it if everyone's just saying, how do I get this? Non-stop on Reddit or any kind of discussion forum, but then no one's helping. So the reason why there's so many posts and questions is because no one's answering the posts and questions. And then this, struggling with exalted orbs, Act 3, somewhere near the end of it, significant lack of these items. Now it's days ago, so people are progressing a bit more, but getting a lot of other orbs, it's just that there's not a lot of exalts. You gotta get into the end game. Also, a lot of people are having differing experiences. I just got to Cruel and found about 25 exalted orbs through the journey. And I've also just been finding them going through the first couple of acts and then rerunning it on Cruel. But the farming is still something that you want to have. Also, when it comes to farming methods, people are upset about the exploits ruining the economy, getting downvoted, and tons of questions flaming them about it, where it's like, hey, it's a part of the game to respawn the corpses and then reset the checkpoint. So corpse respawning got removed in the last patch, but even then, it was kind of contested. Spent 10 hours farming the 9th Treasure of Keth. Here's the results, so kind of the expectation from doing that, and the most upvoted thing is looks like maps are more profitable. However, it's a good way of safe farming, and again, before you get to high-level maps. And people are still looking for pre-map farms, which is why I'm making this video, but also my gear isn't good for map farming because I don't have rarity increase on all of my gear. But that's the cool thing about this area, because as you're farming it, you're still getting level 50 gear. Now, I do have like a little bit of rarity increase, but we're getting the resources to where we can start farming and crafting for the rarity increase gear inside of this, and then we run it back on the farm, and that's where we're going to be spending a good amount of our time right now, it seems. There's also a lot of rares in here, so boom, regal orb, transmutation. Like, the resources are still dropping, and it makes me feel better. Like, oh, if I just had maxed out rarity or a crazy amount of rarity, I'd be able to come back here, stomp through everything, even if the gear is kind of lower for the rarity, and the farming just seems better here. Like, the drop rates just seem better, which kind of makes sense if you're in the mines going for resources, hopefully. And I'm not just crazy, and it's not just placebo. Also, it doesn't take that long to get to the boss, so you can just farm the boss pretty quickly as well, and then you do some crafts and you get the gear that helps you farm, and then you just keep farming until you're ready to progress and finish up Cruel mode, then go into maps and all the other endgame stuff. And this boss is actually pretty easy. Like, don't sit in the flamethrower too much, and then you can still kind of melt him. You also really want to make use of the currency exchange. I dropped 2 exalted orbs. As you can see, I got a ton of transmutation and augmentation, and I can use that to craft for the rarity gear from all the regular loot that's dropping in the mines. And you also want to see what's going on with the currency, because I have tons of armorer scrap, because I haven't been, like, upgrading too much. So we can see the ratio is, like, 1 to 2.5. So I grabbed 4 exalted orbs for 10 armorer scrap. And then I was able to convert that into all of this, and now I can do some crafts, and then I get more rarity, and then you're just into a hyper-farming gameplay loop, but the tools are there to where you don't have to do anything fancy inside the game. And of course, we gotta do a little bit of Gamba for the content, so let's grab one of everything that we use and see if we can find a nice little gear upgrade. I've heard mixed things from different people saying it's not worth it, you just want to level up and see what the regular vendors have. And with this, like, okay, cool, we got quality. So that actually turns into something. And then we can use some of the extra stuff we got. There's also the Clearfell boss farm that people have been praising, where you just teleport to the Waystone and walk up. So they say, like, yo, you get magic items, rare items, some other stuff. A unique is like 1% on 65 rarity modifier. People are saying, it's a pretty healthy ratio. 1 hour 25 minutes with 15k DPS, and apparently 1 Exalted Orb, 1 Trials token, 2 Regal Orbs, and then some smaller currency. So I feel like this was really overrated. I saw a lot of people talking about it when the game came out pretty early on. The reaction to this farming felt really overrated and cringe, that people went, yep, you can always trust the Chinese players to immediately find the best farms in the game, when really, it isn't. This is also something where people have a lot of different experiences, that they go, I did this for like 2-3 hours, I didn't get anything, and then also the back half, where like, oh, hours 4 and 5 just end up being luckier. And that's how a lot of the farming goes, that after enough time, eventually it balances out. But if you get lucky early on, I say you just take your advantage and move on to the next farm. So as you can see, I dug through a lot of posts to try to find out what's working for people, what isn't working for people, what the response is, and couldn't really find anything, so I had to go out and test and kind of get a feel for how it's going and how I need to upgrade with what I have. Because you could also have very specific farming builds. Okay, how were you supposed to exploit this if you were a warrior or you didn't have any corpse consumption build? But yeah, people are saying exalted drop rate is like game-ruiningly punishing, and then, you know, half an exalt per map or 1 every 2 maps, still low tier, not juicing. It's like, you need to get through this part. You need to get your exalts here to actually get your gear upgraded to where you can start doing some of the crazier and crazier runs. Then we got this guy. Hey peeps, currently trying to farm to improve gear, and I figured out an easy way to farm the first boss in Act 3. So you spawn in Sandswept, and then you look on the map for the waypoint, and just hug the wall close to that well icon. Alright, so we do just have like a rare dude in here. That seems pretty quick and easy to farm. We also get the Great Hum we're looking for, which goes into our build. And I also ended up with a ruby, so Act 3 cruel farming bosses. Cool. Seems like that could also be pretty good. Wow, yeah, this method actually finds the boss pretty quick, but I think you have to make a new instance instead of just teleporting to the area like it's from the story or something, because that map appears to be a bit different. So the loot looks pretty decent. Also, we got a lot of gold for that. Oh yeah, this is also really nice with the update, because you can just go to the checkpoint, teleport back to the Waystone, and make a new instance pretty quick. Also, a benefit of farming in Act 3 is that you start getting Tier 1 Waystones as regular drops, but it seems like the loot in general just isn't as powerful as what you find in the mines. Like the amount of drops, as I say that, end up getting a unique item. But I don't know, this game's weird. But also, I've died a little bit more in this area, so that can be a problem if you don't have, like, all the crazy gear optimizations. So the mines are a good place for currency and the crafts, but if you want to go, like, straight rare and better item farming, then the marsh also seems like a pretty good spot. So there we go, that's what's going on with getting exalted orbs, gear farming, and currency farming in Path of Exile 2. Hope you guys enjoy the video, hope you all have a nice day, thank you very much for watching.